What is happening, guys? Martin is back again. You know where we are, guys, so let's get back into it. So, guys, thank you very much for the comments, likes, and subscriptions. Let's keep that going. Also, guys, I'll try my best to respond in the comments, but I do thank you, and I do appreciate the fact that you guys are also contributing to it. It does help me keep motivated to keep putting out the videos, and when you ask questions, I can only give you my opinion and my advice, but at the same time, guys, I do appreciate it. Now, just to give you a quick rundown on this video, guys. So today, this is a quick talk about the evolution of Vibrant Leather based on the bottles I have. If there's something I've missed, guys, by all means, let me know. I'm just trying my best to try and get it all into one video. That being said, guys, I will not talk on the oud version of Vibrant Leather because I don't agree with that version. Excuse me. Nor do I agree with the cologne version either, which I believe is just basically from Paris to New York. Yes, it's in a different bottle, but that being said, to me, it doesn't really have any reflection at all on the Vibrant Leather that came out. So that being said, guys, all in all, let's get into it. So for those that know, guys, this was the original first version of Vibrant Leather that I have a bottle of. If anything else came out before this, guys, by all means, let me know. This version came out in 2016. Just to give you a note breakdown, it was saying that the top notes were bergamot, lemon, mid notes were bamboo, leather, and then went into patchouli in the base notes. Now, the problem with this one, guys, and I honestly do think it has been a change, and this is why I'm talking about the evolution of the fragrance. But for me, guys, this one was quite harsh. I felt there was like a very strong lemon in there. The bergamot was there. Again, you're looking for some element of the birch. But for me, guys, this fragrance, it smelled like cat piss to me. That's my honest opinion about it. I know some people feel like this is always the one to go to. And sometimes, actually, guys, if you keep an eye out, I'm sure you can still get a copy of this, a bottle of this on eBay. But for me, guys, this was quite strong. It was quite harsh. It was quite brash. I mean, you can see how much juice I had left in this one, guys, and this was 2016 this came out. Now, I've purchased, I think this is only, I want to purchase one bottle of this one, and this is how much juice I have left. But fortunately for me, it just was too brash. It did smell, it smelled to me like urine. You can get versions of Creeds Aventus, which is slightly more heavier in the birch, slightly more of a woodsy type of smell. But this one, guys, the only way I can describe it is very screechy. The lemon is in there, but it doesn't smell like a fresh lemon. It smells like a sour type of lemon on my nose. Yes, for the time when it came out, this was revolutionary in a way, but obviously we know there's other versions out, other clones that were out long before this anyway. But for the time it came out for Zara, this came out, guys, in 2016, and this was an okay version. I can't complain. I do know people that purchased this one and also bought other bottles of it. But for me, just smelling it now, guys, for me, it's a little bit strong. It smells a little bit dated. It didn't really smell that defined to me. And I think this is probably why it stayed on my shelf for the period of time it did. It didn't necessarily, it projected very well. But for me, guys, it became very cloying. I was a little bit unhappy with it. And I think it just didn't work for me. If this smelled like anything else, and this wasn't necessarily a clone of Creeds Aventus, then maybe this probably wouldn't have done so well. But at the same time, guys, it sparked off something. Zara did their job. These are the bottles that came in, and I think they'll probably go back to these bottles. I think this is a pretty cool bottle as it stands, and the spray was actually okay. But the cap was a plastic type of cap, and this is where it stands with that bottle. So that's where we started off, guys, in 2016. Have you got this bottle, guys? What's your comments? What's your thoughts on it? Let me know. Then, guys, there was a slight variation. I'm just going to get this up again. The slight variation, guys, there was a bit of a change. And instead of calling it Vibrant Leather in 2017, now I don't know which one came first, but this one I saw on the shelves, guys. And this is the 2017 version of Nightport Homme, and this is number 4. And, guys, to me, again, this is slightly different. So this one, the spraying it now, it's referred to as a eau de parfum version. I don't necessarily believe it really gave much by way of the depth that you get maybe in the first one. This one, guys, is slightly more heavier in that it's not as bright. The opening again and the notes breakdown is exactly the same according to Fragrantica. For me, guys, this one's slightly more on the woodsy side compared to the last one, which is slightly more citrus, but sharp citrus. This one doesn't smell as sharp at all. I have worn this and got compliments, guys, but because for me, I didn't feel this one projected as well, and I don't feel that this one actually had much by way of longevity. So yes, it says the eau de parfum version, but compared to the previous version that I put up, guys, I don't feel like this one really hit home that much. It was okay at the time, and again, this is at the time. Just looking now, even on Fragrantica, there's no variation at all really on this one from what I can see. Just for me, guys, it just didn't really last as long. But that being said, I actually preferred, between the two, I preferred this one because it's slightly more refined. It wasn't as screechy a type of citrus in your face as this one was. I'd say this one smelled like urine to me, where this one was slightly more smooth, slightly more suave, and it seemed to give more of a grown up feel to it when it came to this fragrance. And bear in mind, guys, we're trying to compare, in my view, from Aventus. Okay, so that was that one, guys. Again, slightly more refined than this one. It says Eau de Parfum, but this one's slightly more refined, and it seemed to have a bit more of a mature feeling about it. Then, guys, moving on to 2017. Still in the same year, just bringing this back up again. 2017, guys, took a different turn. It wasn't called Vibrant Leather at all. It was called Rich Leather. Now, Rich Leather, guys, you can see how much juice I have left on this one, and this is the 2017 bottle. This one, guys, again, slightly different. For me, the dry down smells more like I say Aventus, but more from a more of a fruity type of perspective compared to the previous two. So this one, guys, in the top notes had pineapple. It has in the mid notes patchouli, and then it's coming down to birch and it's saying cedar woods on Fragrantica in respect of the base notes. For me, guys, this one was slightly. It's like a variation. So sometimes you can get slightly more woodsies type of batches of Aventus, and sometimes you get more slightly, say, fruitier types. This one, guys, was slightly more fruitier. It didn't seem to hold in the same way as this one, where I say this one's slightly more mature. This one, however, seems a bit more playful. This one seems it can be worn, maybe not as heavy in your face. Slightly more occasions I think I could wear this one than I would wear the where I'd wear the previous version. So I'm just trying to have a look now to see again if there's any difference. Saying that it's got pink pepper in it as well. I don't know about pink pepper. Don't really get that vibe from it. But to me, guys, if you were to compare all of them, including this one, and then obviously the 2017 again, this is not necessarily the same type of fragrance. It's probably a bit more mass appealing, I would say, than the previous two versions. The other two slightly more, I say, more in line with the Aventus type of DNA. But this one was still there, but took it down slightly more of a fruitier type of vibe. And I think it's a nice fragrance, guys, but the longevity just wasn't there for me. You could probably wear this one in the heat more so than the other two. The other two may have been too cloying, whereas this, guys, you could have got away with it because of the pineapple note, which seems a bit more prominent in this version for Rich Leather than the previous ones. And that's just my opinion. From there, guys, we're going to move forward. All in all, the fragrances are okay. We're going to move forward, guys, to where we're getting up to now. And I say I'm not going to comment on the oud version or the cologne version. I don't see any relevance in that one. Moving forward, guys, brings us to 2018. And again, I already touched on this one before. I've done my reviews on it, guys. And this is where I think Zara now started to sort of balance it up a little bit more and get more of a base to it that seems to be in line with Aventus, that I'm quite happy with, me personally. Again, the notes on Fragrantica are saying it's still the same as birch in the top notes. It's saying the mid notes have bamboo and the base notes have a leather. I don't necessarily believe that's necessarily all that goes into it. I'm going to spray this again just so you can see the sprayer. But for me, guys, this one is slightly more lemony. This one doesn't smell necessarily as bright or even offensive as this one has done. And this was from 2016. So 2 years on, guys, 2018 now. Eau de Parfum concentration, again, is what they say. And this one, guys, and I'm not looking at necessarily Zara's website. I'm just going through Fragrantica. It makes it a lot easier. But this one, guys, seems to have balanced it up a little bit more. And for me, guys, as you already know, I've done my comments and done my reviews on this. This is one of my most complimented fragrances ever, 1999, and this one has kept me safe in respect of compliments, because every single time I've worn it, I have to say, and not every single time, that's an exaggeration, but at least to the point of maybe 90% of the times I've worn this, guys, I've had compliments, whether it be in the office, whether it be in the street. I've even been to a takeaway, guys, and had compliments regarding this. So that being said, guys, this is one to keep on deck. So this is the 2018. Moving forward now, 2019, it changed up a little bit, where there was an introduction of the smaller, I believe this is a 60ml bottle, which again is the same concentration, but some individuals have said that it doesn't smell the same as the 120ml. I sort of get that now. I'm not really sure where it's coming from. There is a variation somewhere along the line, or maybe it's in our minds, I don't know. I'm happy with both of them, but for some reason, guys, when I spray this one, which is not a metallic cap, but when I spray this one, I'll spray here again, obviously it's already seen it before, but I don't know, guys. This one to me just seems to be a bit more depth, a bit more fruity. Longevity is there. The longevity is here in this one, guys, but something doesn't smell quite right. I don't know why. Maybe there's variations in the batches, and maybe maybe I've just got a bad batch. I do not know. But something about it, guys, doesn't really quite let me know to make me think that this is exactly the same fragrance. Maybe a slight nuance. I'm really not sure, guys, but that's where it went for when we went to 2019. We got the smaller version. You can carry this on the plane, as you know, and you can do your thing on respect of travel. But let me know your thoughts, guys, on this one. Do you feel there's any difference at all in the 220ml and 60ml? I'm not sure, but I'm suspecting there is a slight variation. I could be wrong, but let me know. And then, guys, there was a special edition, which again I don't believe necessarily also special, but nonetheless, guys, this was 2019. Again, some people are saying there's a variation. I don't really feel so. One of the breakdown notes on Zara's fragrances said it's a bamboo accord, I believe. Yeah, whatever. I mean, it smells like the same thing. The only variation, guys, I could see on this, if you can see, yeah, I don't know if you can see it that way. There's a slight variation in respect of the logo that was on there. This is the latest bottle, guys, which is apparently a special edition. Still at the same price of $19.99. But for me, this still smells. I'm going to spray it here. Obviously, I've oversprayed it now, but this still smells to me in line with what I would expect with this version. Yeah, I mean, what's the difference between bamboo and bamboo accord? Realistically, guys, if you really sat down, unless you're going to get into the science of literally trying to work out what goes into it, most people aren't. To me, guys, it smells the same. Sometimes, guys, with these bottles, sometimes it's better to buy the previous version or the older version. I do know, obviously, people will say that there's certain years which are the better years to buy fragrance for. Me personally, guys, if I were to recommend anything, you can be fine with either one. It's not a problem. But sometimes these newer versions, what sometimes is happening is that it becomes slightly weaker. This to me is still giving me the longevity on my skin, at least 5 hours or so, and the old one was giving me 5 hours, you know, equally. So I can't really complain. But when there's a new version coming out and an older version, something may have happened in respect of the production. Something may have happened in respect of the ingredients, that they can't maybe sustain the ingredients anymore, and that's why they're moving over to a newer version. It says special edition. I don't know what's special about it, but for 2019 and 2018, guys, if you can still get a bottle of the older one, which I probably will make sure I do, get a bottle of the older one, guys. If you can, keep that on your shelf, I would say, or even get 2 bottles if you can. Usually, sometimes these things are in the sale. But if they're going to stop doing the older version and move on to this new version, it just makes you question what the reason is for that, because they do smell very similar to me, but maybe there's a slight variation in the ingredients that I just can't pick up on. So that being said, guys, I've tried to keep this short and sweet. That is the breakdown, as I say, where we're left now with the 2019 version, including the variation with the 60ml compared to when it all started off in 2016. From what I can see, maybe this came out even earlier, guys. I don't know. I wasn't necessarily into the fragrances then in that way, but this is 2016, the evolution from 2016, harsh, brush in your face. Yes, it's a clone to some extent, but at the same time, guys, there were other clones that were already out that, in my opinion, probably slightly more closer to the Aventus DNA than what we were getting. This, to me, also, guys, it's not necessarily Aventus as such. It is an inspired version of it. It is an inspired version of, as I say, that type of birch, those woody notes. It's not as complex, but the citrus is a lot more balanced, in my opinion, for this one compared to the original version of that came out in 2016, guys. So that's my opinion on it, guys. Some people are still wearing this, as I know for a fact, and you can get them on eBay, but I just feel this is a little bit offensive in comparison to the smell compared to this one, which is a bit more I think now defined, relaxed, and is suitable for all occasions. This one, I think, you would have been quite offensive if you wore this in the office. Some people could get away with it, but not for me, guys. So that is my thoughts, guys, on the evolution. I'll try and take a picture and show them all so you can see. Thank you very much, guys, for the comments, like, and subscriptions. Let's keep them going. And if you've got anything else to add, guys, just let me know. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys soon. Ciao.